Trade Guitars is giving away this Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul to one of you. How to enter? Subscribe to Play and Trade Guitars on YouTube, and we'll give it away when we hit 50,000 subscribers. Hey, welcome back. I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where of course we play it and trade it. We're continuing our look at the best-selling guitars from Fender today, taking a look at the American Professional 2 Telecaster. Retail price $16.99. Is it worth it? What does it sound like? What are the specs? These are all the things we want to answer for you here on Play and Trade Guitars. At the top, make sure you're subscribed. We're giving away a Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul when we hit 50,000 subscribers. Sign up link down in the description. And importantly, when you're in the market for a new guitar like the American Professional 2 Tele, make sure you use our purchase link down in the description because we get credit and you help us grow. So thanks for all of you who have already bought guitars. It really helps us. We partner with Zounds to make that happen. Now, Zach, let's get down and flip these latches and check out the Fender American Professional 2 Telecaster. Stay tuned because at the end, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I actually prefer the Telecaster over the Stratocaster these days. So keep watching to the end. Let's get to work. We're going to put it on the bench and talk specs, and of course, we're going to plug it in and play it. Let's do it. So at this price point, $16.99, we're gonna get this nice molded Fender hard shell flight case. They're stackable, which is cool. And then inside, I love this maple neck classic Tele. Check out this color, Miami blue, which is awesome. We got a traditional alder body on this guitar. Brass saddles, which I think are a great touch just looking out of the gate. You actually even have the choice to string this bridge through, which is kind of interesting, but this one is strung body through, like you'd like to see in a nice resonant, solid Tele. You can see this molded heel. We'll talk about all the specs. It's got this newer deep C shaped neck, rolled edges. So they've really actually upgraded the American Professional line in this new iteration, the American Professional 2. And so far, so good. Why don't we head over to the bench and talk full specs? But drop a comment as we go and let us know what you think of this Tele. Are you in the market for a Tele? Remember to use our purchase link. Let's head over to the bench. Nice vintage Fender spaghetti logo, Corona, California. These are made in America. $16.99. Coming down here, we got a maple neck with a deeper C profile, so it fits nicely in the hands. They've rolled these edges to make it even more comfortable. 22 frets on this guitar, which are even more accessible because they've got this nice heel bevel here, which will open things up for you. No body contours on the back, which actually I like. I really don't need a Tele to have body contours. If it's a Tele, I like a slab. And I like it old school, so they've gone with just a regular good old Tele body. String through, importantly, which I always think leads to the resonance. Bridge, I love how they've gone traditional on this Tele bridge. So American Professional 2 is really supposed to blend the best elements of modern and vintage into a professional level, gigging guitar that's ready for pretty much anything you can throw at it. But I love that they're preserving these 3 brass saddles. I think that's a great touch. Like I mentioned before, you can also, if you choose, string up this bridge with the strings through the bridge rather than through the body if you prefer. It might give it maybe a little bit more snap or kind of a metallic twang if you do it that way. I always prefer the string through body approach. On electronics here, classic Tele knobs, 3-way switch. Nothing crazy, just a straight ahead Tele. To me, maybe I'm biased, but I feel like they got it perfect out of the gate. I just love a good Telecaster. So 4-screw pattern, you can see that beveled neck plate with American Professional 2 on there, which I think is a nice touch. The beveled joint here to give you better access to this upper register. And then I'll flip this around and we'll let this neck fall out. A real standout feature of this neck as I kind of pop it out is the satin feel. So rather than a heavy gloss, you have this kind of satin poly feel here, which I think is great in combination with the deep C. It makes it super playable. And as this turns around, we pop this neck out, you can get a first look. Got a date of January 28th, 2022 on this practically brand new guitar. Down in the body here, you got a few more factory markings, including a date in the neck pocket, and you can get a glimpse of that alder body. They actually also offer an iteration of the American Professional 2 Tele with pine, and it's roasted pine, and it's only in certain colors, but that's actually really cool and worth checking out too. This is gonna be your traditional alder, so I'll set the body over, and we'll get some neck measurements as we get rolling. 1.69 inch nut, first fret at 0.82 inches, up to a 12th fret of 0.91 inches. slab TELE body, measuring in at 1.8 inches. Take a look at the pickguard and the neck pickup assembly. So this is kind of cool, worth noting that you lift up that pickguard and already you're routed for some modifications that you might want to make. A lot of people like the sound of a humbucker in neck position, so it's nice to see the body is already routed for humbucker if you wanted to mod that. And if you want to get crazy and add a third pickup, the body's also routed for a third pickup in the middle, which is pretty cool. So kind of a universal all-around ready to go TELE slab body with those extra routes. So actually that's a nice touch. I love the tint, like Zach and I were saying, of the pickguard itself. You got a 3-ply white, black, white pickguard. And then you can get a look at that neck pickup, that gray backed. These are going to be a new iteration of pickups that are called V-Mod 2 pickups, developed by Tim Shaw over at Fender. Like I said, stay tuned to the end. I'll tell you at least 5 reasons I prefer the TELE to the Strat these days. But one of them, I just did some work on my personal TELE and I had to do some soldering. And one great thing is you can get at strictly the electronics, the controls, without taking off the whole pickguard assembly like a Strat. We'll lift up this. We still have the strings through the body, so we're going to be somewhat held hostage by these strings, but that's okay. We'll still get a glimpse down here at the back of the plate. And then we got that V-Mod 2 in bridge, so going for a slightly brighter, more modern take on vintage Fender sound. You got a bridge measuring 7.0, neck at 5.4, combined at 3.0, traditional 3-way TELE switch here. And then what's cool is they have a push-pull here, so we'll actually be able to put, when we're in the middle position, choose between parallel, which is a configuration that comes on a TELE traditionally, or series when we pull this. And when we go to series, we're going to be running the neck pickup into the bridge pickup before it goes to the circuit. What does that sound like? Well, stay tuned because in our playing demo, we'll show you both configurations. You can hear it for yourself. And then we'll take a look under the hood here. See the taller pot for the push-pull series parallel in middle position. See that selector switch. We're going to be using traditional 250K pots for that vintage Fender sound. Just given a bit of an update with these V-Mod 2 pickups, which are supposed to have a little more clarity. We've got it put back together. We've got a quick weight, 7 pounds, 15 ounces, so we're just shy of 8 pounds. Call it 7.9 pounds. Shouldn't be too big of a problem when it's plugged in, but I'm noticing just a little bit of buzz on the high E, just kind of from the factory. But the neck is a standout feature. If you like the feel of a satin neck and the particular shape of this deep sea neck they call it, I think is perfect. I love satin, it makes it super playable. Let's head over, we'll do some DI cleans, we'll get it going behind a track and we'll let it sing. Let's see how it sounds. been a look at the mid-priced American-made, American Professional 2 Telecaster from Fender. Drop a comment, I'd love to know what you think. If you're in the market for this guitar, please use our purchase link down in the description. It supports Play and Trade guitars directly. Now, as promised, at the end of this video, I'll give you a few reasons why I think this is a great guitar, but then I'll give you a few reasons why I actually lately have been really digging the Tele over the Strat. First, a couple, I think, standout points on the Telecaster itself. I really like the neck shape. They're calling it a deep C. It's got these rolled edges, which are super comfortable. And satin, I think, is always just a pleasure to play. It feels great in the hands. Number two, I love how they preserved so much of the vintage Telecaster character and vibe, especially with these brass triple barrels here. I think that's super cool. The tray here in the bridge is a nice touch. String through body, the whole deal. It feels like a very classic Tele, just with a few modern appointments, things like that rounded heel. And V-Mod 2 pickups, I think, sound really good. It is cool to have this series parallel switch to put your middle position into like one giant humbucker, which is pretty cool. So overall, great quality construction. Everything looks fantastic on this guitar. I think it sounds great too. Now I'll give you a few reasons why I've really been preferring the Telecaster over the Stratocaster. Number one is actually the simple body shape. I actually prefer to not have a contoured body. I feel like I have more of a guitar sitting against me and staying put when you just have that old school slab of wood. Number two, I love the simplified controls. I really only need 3 things to be flipping around, not 5. And I think it's easy to get to these controls and it keeps it simple for me, so I like that. Number 3 is the fact that there's no trem. I like to use the trem occasionally, but as I try to wrestle a trem and deal with tuning stability issues, I really am having a good time playing a Tele with string through body construction, much more stable tuning, and I think that that's one reason over the floating trem of a Strat that I prefer a Tele. And number 4 is I actually think that you can get almost any guitar sound out of a Telecaster. A Strat kind of sounds like a Strat, which is an amazing sound. But a Telecaster can do everything from going to the neck pickup with the tone rolled down and doing jazz to, of course, your country and more hard edge rock and everything in between. Sometimes in that middle position, I really got to tell you, my favorite Telecaster pickup position has got to be this beautiful, beautiful middle position, which I think only a Telecaster can pull off. I love that middle position on a Telecaster, and it's something unique that I really think gives you a really nice diversified range of sounds. And number 5, I think a Telecaster is just so cool because it's so classic and so iconic, and they kind of got it right out of the gate first. I feel like I can play any style of music on a Telecaster, so I love the construction, I love the quality of the American Professional 2 series. Remember to use our purchase link when you're ready to buy. Remember to sign up for our giveaway. Drop your comments, drop your questions. We'll see you on the next demo on Play and Trade Guitars. Thanks for watching.